Alright, so this is going to be a full level Forerunner walkthrough. We will go over the all movement parts of the level. We will exclude the ghost driving for now. That will be put into a separate video to include the different types of ghost out of bounds, as well as the full path and optimal pathing there, because you can get stuck. But let's get started. So here at the start, you want to run to this door as fast as possible.
Some sort of advanced
If you're doing
defense
full
AI.
game, it's good to get this turret.
Related to the Sentinels, I'm guessing, but it's hard to say without a closer look. Come on, let's figure
Now if you're
out where
doing
that
ILs,
transit
you want to pause here, open up your roster and close it.
system dumped us.
That will cause you
Put me
to
in the console.
access this faster. Okay, so sprint cycles are going to be pretty important here. A sprint cycle is basically how long you can go continuously until your sprint runs out. In Halo 4, of course, we have muscle running, but the times that you muscle run do matter. So I will go over those muscle runs here. That way you do not run out of your sprint in a jump or something.
This is the first pylon.
So we're going to do our
This is as close as I can get
muscle run every 4 or 5
don't mind flipping it a little.
sways of the gun. You can get a little slide here.
Contact.
Alright, so we're going to kill this crawler here.
Coming down the wall.
We're going to sprint forward. In ILs, you'll just sprint straight for the button. In full game, you can distract the crawlers by using a turret here.
They're
Okay.
connected, all right.
So you do not want to activate the light bridge. You want to jump on the button. Then you want to jump over to this pole right here. And you want to jump on top of this gray thing. And now our goal is to jump on that rock. Now there's this side thing right here that can push us off when we're jumping over. So we want to kind of walk up the gray thing about halfway and then start to run off. You can do this without sprinting too if sprinting is a problem. So just like that, we're going to try to curve jump onto this rock. And I'm going to try to do that without jumping to just kind of show the different options here. Just like that. So if you're having problem with sprinting and bumping your head every time, try not sprinting. It is also a little difficult. I find it a little bit harder, but it is possible. So now that you're on this rock, you got to be careful when you're going out of bounds because there are holes all over the place. So we're going to start off by jumping on this rock here. So we got our first hole here and sprinting over. Now we got an elastic barrier here. We want to go around it, so we're up on this hill. So what that would look like is running around this hill, then jumping up, do a muscle, get about this far up on the hill, past this little divot. Then we're going to sprint onto this rock here. Now, if you're doing IL attempts, you want to continue sprinting and jump onto this rock and go for a slide jump. For the sake of this tutorial, this will be for full games, so you can stop here. Then you can sprint onto this rock, you can stop here. For the IL, you just continue going forward and get a slide off this rock. And now we're going to line up roughly with this divot here. We're going to sprint off and crouch jump at the end. That will get us to land nicely right here, and this rock right here will catch us. So if you aim for this little corner and crouch at the very end, you'll always make it. So now we got a little bit of platforming here. This ground is solid for a little bit, but it does slow you down. So you want to jump on the rocks, you want to sprint in here, jump up, sprint over to this little area. Now here, this can be a bit tricky. You can slide off if you land on the wrong spot. So my suggestion here is to aim for this little triangle piece as you're coming up the top of the rock. And as you get over, you cut your sprint. Now, for ILs, you want to aim further to the right and then jump. So that way you can get like a nice crouch jump up here. For full game though, that's pretty risky. So it's just nice to do these little jumps carefully. Jump up on this side of the rock. Be careful because there's an elastic barrier here. Do a small sprint jump here. Land on this rock. Okay, so now we need to land on top of this bridge. My suggestion is to aim for roughly this second column and jump at kind of the last second, maintaining your sprint throughout, and cut like melee about 3/4 the way through your jump. For ILs, you can cut the corner completely, but once again, risky for full game. So let's jump, cut right about there. We're gonna, this hallway is quite wide, but be careful because you can fall off. Now stay in the middle. You want to jump at least once as you get towards the end of the hallway to load in this area here. Now there's going to be a hole on the left side. We want to fall down the left side here. You can get a little bit of a sprint here. Now all the enemies will be deloaded at this point, so don't walk inside or that will load in the enemies. We're just going to take a very simple path here. You can get a slide jump right here. It's a bit tough. Okay. So now we have two ways of doing this jump here. You can run up here and sprint over here. I find that to be pretty difficult and pretty much nobody does it. Or you can just sprint up to this rock, cut sprint as you land on it, and then carry your momentum through a jump up to here. Like this. Now we want to run over here. And there's this nice slanted rock right here that we can get a nice slide jump off of. So we're going to jump, I would say, pretty close to the edge. Cut sprint, and you'll get a nice slide. Most of the time you won't be able to jump up here, but if you're able to, that's great. It's good practice that whenever you're jumping over gaps to muscle run and going up hills, you can get like a jump after your muscle run to maintain momentum but get a little bit of sprint back. Okay, here's going to be our first trick heavy RNG part of the mission. So there's 3 cores that we have to kill. There's one here, and one over on this side. They all 3 have to die in order for these shields to disappear and you can go up the tower. So we will be going over the Pylon Jump. We will not be doing the full path. The full path is very straightforward. You just need to run around the building. So let's go over all that here. So first one's gonna be very simple. You can, if you jump at like that shiny spot, you can sometimes get a slide jump here. We're gonna melee this first one. Then we're going to run about up to here, throw a grenade to destroy that one right there. Now in ILs, you want to sprint, basically just cut this jump, land there, and I hope you don't get hit by the knight. In full game though, you can just walk up the side of the railing, jump up here, and once you're on the top, you can kind of just sprint jump up to this little pylon thing here. Easy jump. Now if you walk over to this right side, you can actually avoid getting shot pretty easily. Now we can jump up here to get a nice little jump up. And now we want to aim for the bottom of our reticle. See how there's like a little circle? You can aim it for the top of the platform. And then throw your grenade. Oh, we missed it there. Just like that. If you are sprinting, you can see like the inner circle. You can line it up with in parallel with those 2 little bridge things. That's another lineup you can do there. And now we're going to move forward. Just do some sprint jumps or muscle runs. Now you want to stand back a little bit, about halfway to further back on the elevator, in order to activate this button early.
They try to follow it.
They'll get caught in the
So as we pass this lower lip with the elevator, we're going to jump forward to trigger early. So just watch here, just like that, and it opens up the door faster. Now here we'll be able to jump on the ball in the middle to go a little bit faster. Just like so. So we want to get to this portal as fast as possible.
We've got to disable that other beam before they're pulled in like we were.
So I actually ran out of sprint
I was
there.
wondering why
So you definitely want to be careful.
yet.
What are they doing here?
They're heading to the second pylon as well.
That can't be a coincidence.
Okay, now we're getting close
Sounds like
to
Prometheans don't
the
want
battle
the
jump
Covenant
area.
either.
So there's a
The
few
Battlement's
different
already
things you
lighting
can
up
do
with
up
reports
here.
of resistance all around the pylon. Drop pod.
So our first method is you can, this is an IL method, you can go for this drop pod jump. And then once you're here, you can jump up. It's very difficult though. And once you're up here, you run back a little bit to trigger in these enemies right here. Then you run back and just go normally. Another method, which is the full game and normal IL method, is to jump right here onto this rock. We're going to sprint forward and land right here when we don't get shot. Then for ILs, we can jump up to this one and sprint straight over, but you can't get shot at all. So in full game, what we do is jump up to this top one, aim for this little slanted one. We're going to sprint off and crouch jump. You'll pretty much always make it even if you get shot. You can just make it up here, swap out your gun for a light rifle if you'd like, and then just sprint forward. Previously, it was thought that shooting these watchers here was actually could save you time, because if you get shot, you get staggered. But actually, if you shoot them, you lose more time than what you would lose not making this ghost. So let's go over this here. So as you're cresting this ridge, you want to do like one more muscle run as you're passing this little edged rock. Then you want to sprint constantly and jumping right as you come over this ledge and holding your enter button for the ghost. There we go. Now we want to get out of this ghost and go into this ghost because it's faced in the correct direction. And we want to follow this path. Now whenever you're about to run out of boost, you want to get your boost down to about 5 to 1%. You never want it to hit 0, because it will actually take longer for it to recharge, just like that. Then whenever you're waiting for boost to come back, drive diagonal.
They found the opening. You better get up to that
Okay,
relay
here,
fast.
we're going to aim for this rock right here. We're going to boost into it and get out right as we hit it to get into this Banshee. Now as you can see, it's extremely lenient. So as long as you get the bounce off the rock, you will always get into this Banshee,
They found the
even with the
opening.
hijack. Now it's optimal to not get the hijack here,
Relay and fast.
just like that. And the elite will usually move out of the way. So now that we're in the Banshee, you're going to want to switch over to controller here if you have a controller, because mouse and keyboard is actually slower. Because you can't look straight up constantly, it actually wants to move your reticle down, so you have to constantly be scrolling up with your mouse. Whereas on controller, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, we're going to aim for the top of this mountain right here. We're going to boost straight up. Curve around, and now we want to kind of boost down until we're about to go under this blue floor, because as soon as we go under the blue floor, we're good to go up. So if you go further down, you're actually going to lose some extra time. Now we're going to go up here and aim for this second line up here, right here. Now, as you're coming through this building, if you're on mouse and keyboard, you're going to want to switch back here. Wait for your boost to recharge a little bit. Now we're going to boost down to this area right here. As soon as we get close to the door, it will activate. We will want to quickly turn around. And we're going to want to bring our Banshee roughly to this spot on the circle. However, we will be moving forwards to try to time getting out with that circle. Then we're going to shut down the beam array. We want to keep this Banshee here though, because this will be our next trick. This trick saves roughly 2 seconds, so don't worry about it if your Banshee gets stuck or whatever. Okay, now immediately get into your Banshee. and fly upwards, flies directly to this portal. It's like I accidentally activated my turret, but
Once we're on the
you can actually
satellite, there's
beat
bound to
the
be a
timer
central
for
control
the
point.
The Covenant
portal
are
there.
moving towards the relay too.
Okay, so now we're going to be going into our final battle.
Why would they care about a broadcast relay?
Okay, so we're going to want to hit one slide jump here, and the order that we kill the enemies is kind of important.
I'll
So
handle them.
as you
just
come to the
find
edge
a
of this
control
here,
room.
you can get a little slide jump
I'll
right
swim
there.
till infinity hits the
Now
ground.
as we're passing this
A
spot
minute
right
or two
here,
max.
do like a jump forward and
Covenant are
start
making
shooting the enemies out. Start with the grunt and then the sniper.
Push.
Looks like I hit the little thing there.
I'll swim till infinity hits the gravity well.
A
Right,
minute or
just
two
like that.
max. The Covenant are making a push for something on the far side
All
of the
enemies
satellite.
need to die,
Second power
and then
core
the
offline.
buttons will
Good
appear.
job,
So you want to
team.
go to the left side. Left side
That'll do
is
it.
faster.
Shield should be down. Get up to that beam.
Then you just want to follow this path. Wasn't optimal, so if you get hit by the knight here, that can actually save time. Then we want to jump on this weapons crate, up over the top. Okay, here we're gonna want to take this line here. Now we're gonna want to jump on top of this thing right here. You want to maintain your speed through here, so you can cancel sprint with the crouch. And then one melee here, jumping on these weapon crates. Then for this jump, this can be a bit tricky. You want to get up here roughly till this dark line, and then aim for this little spot right here. And then crouch at the very end. You'll pretty much always make it. And we're just going to do some jumps here, take optimal lines, and then jump at the very end. I barely missed it. And you got the entering the cutscene here. So that's pretty much everything for
Infinity, this is
Forerunner. Is
Sierra
pretty easy.
117 of the UNSC Forerunner
There's some
Dawn. Do you copy?
small IL things that you could do throughout, such as the pressure launch in this last area, and then the goob at the very end. But
Infinity,
hopefully
do you
that
read?
helps for full game.